Hey, boss, yeah. I'm here for that 10 o'clock meeting. What do you mean I'm late? I thought, time means nothing to you, right? What is it you always say? A day is like 1,000 years, right? So, anyway, I've been going over our notes here on the ending to this little fairy tale we've been working on. The one about that guy that's all high and mighty, Mr. Perfect, or Job, that's what you want to call him? Whatever. So I'm going to tweak this opening dialogue a bit, to make it clear that you're on board with this brilliant idea of mine to turn Mr. Perfect's life upside down and see how quickly he loses faith. I'm not sure how it's going to play when folks realize I actually work for you. Or do I? And our FX department, they've come up with some great visuals for the smiting sequence. The CGI modeling of the exploding oxen is intense, man. And makeup is going full tilt with these oozing sores for that sackcloth and ashes scene. Yeah, I know. Who are we going to cast to play what did you want to call him again? Job? Oh, yeah. Well, I'm sure we're going to have to go way above union minimum to get some actor to do all his scenes kneeling in a pile of ashes. Oh, and well, casting is having kind of a hard time finding the right actors to play these three counselors, right? They were supposed to be like his friends, but also like super annoying. We need some guys with that right combination of obnoxious righteousness and feigned compassion to say all the wrong things at the right time. And what's up with these crazy names you want to give these three? Could we do something a little easier? Larry, Moe, and Curly? How about Barry, Robin, and Maurice? Dusty, Lucky, and Ned? Peter, Ray, and Egon. Okay, fine. Then we'll go with Eliphaz, Bildad, and Zophar. Wow, that's a lot of dialogue here. Each one of them going on and on, like these are some of the worst things to say to someone who's down on their luck. Not that I don't enjoy it, but that's not going to play well for most audiences. Are you sure you want to? Okay, fine, we'll keep it. But boy, oh boy, whoever we get to play Job, this is some award-winning dialogue here in his lamenting scenes, like this bit where he complains. And now my soul is poured out within me. Days of affliction have taken hold of me. The night racks my bones, and the pain that gnaws me takes no rest. With violence, he seizes my garment. He grasps me by the collar of my tunic and casts me into the mire. And I have become like dust and ashes. Hey, could I read for the part of Job? Could you think about it at least? No? Okay, well, that's some good stuff there. This grabbing him by the shirt and tossing him out on the heap creates a lot of dramatic tension. I like that. Oh, yeah, and they just inserted here for me to read this dialogue you wrote for yourself, your big monologue. The part you wait till almost the very end to come in with these lines, and, well, we did need something to cut off that Yahoo Elihu, but boy, is he long-winded. But you sure do leave that poor sap Job dangling there for a long, long time, wallowing in his own suffering, waiting and waiting. It's like forever before you even speak a word to him. Really? Silence does not equal absence. Well, I don't get it, but that's not surprising. Interesting choices. I thought you'd go for more of those mushy-gushy things you say, but this is different. You just keep asking him questions over and over again. Question after question after question. That can be its own type of torture. Better make a note of that. I know you don't have to remind me you're not in the business of torture. You're about setting people free. How many times have I heard you say, it's like they live in a prison of their own making and the door is wide open. Okay, well, this is good stuff here. You know, now you're talking about all your favorite creations, the earth and the sky, the seas, the snow and the rain, the lion, the raven, mountain goat, the wild ass, the ox, ostrich, horse, hawk, what? No snake? Come on. I played him so well in that rom-com we scripted about that couple, you know, the one who starts a fashion line made out of fig leaves. All right, fine. Well, this is good. You tell this guy Job to gird up his loins like a man. But the note here says you're not angry? This is about humility, not humiliation? What's the difference? You don't want to shame Job or make him feel bad. Why not? Okay, fine. You want him to learn to trust you, to trust that you love him. After all this that's going to happen to him, though, you think he's going to believe that your love is unconditional, always available, even when you're silent? Good luck with that. And then you go on about Leviathan and Behemoth, these two monsters you created, wrestling and snorting smoke and breathing fire. Man, I love those cats. I'm thinking of getting a picture of them for my next tattoo, you know? Can you see it? I know. This is not an illustration for a tattoo design. It's a metaphor, or whatever that means, for the way things people want to label as good or bad or even terrifying or scary. It's all light as day to you. It's all about how you delight in every aspect of your creation and how you just want your people to see that it's all good. Okay, fine. So you say all that, and then poor little Job says he's sorry, wipes his nose on his sleeve, and then you look upon him lovingly. And then, am I missing some pages here? The ending, perhaps? This version that you wrote, it just sort of trails off. Job sitting on his ash heap, trying desperately to figure out what it means to repent, right? That word that means to turn, to change, to go towards you. And it just says God stays with him as always, watching over him, loving him through it all. I really don't know how that's going to play, boss. You know as well as I, these humans you created, they don't like ambiguity. They don't like evil to go unpunished or suffering to go unrewarded. In fact, they are so messed up about suffering, they'll even do things to make themselves suffer because they think that would earn favor with you or make you love them more, as if that were possible. I know, it's not possible for you to love them more because your love is infinite, whatever that means. But yeah, just leaving Job here with nothing but your loving presence, that doesn't give us much opportunity for any of those beauty shots, right? Mansions, palm trees, maybe a fancy car. All we got is a guy sniveling here in his own snot and just feeling sort of thankful for your presence. How about a musical number? A nice flash mob dance scene? Something fancy. We could pull out all our special effects wizards and do that swirly thing where Job magically twirls up from the ashes, gets his body healed, his rags would turn into some fancy designer robes, put a gold ring on his finger, right? And then we set him back down, not in his old place, but a mansion even better than he had before, with more riches and livestock and kids. And let's even give him some daughters this time. I saw some angels out there we could cast. What? You don't want to take the mystery out of it? You don't want to fill in the blank with just one definition of happiness? Well, of course you think there's no greater joy for humankind than simply knowing you delight in their existence. But come on, after all this guy has been through, don't we want to give him some big reward, some shiny prize? I mean, think of your audience here. These folks will be looking to this story for answers, and all you give them is questions. They'll be looking to this story for comfort, and you want to end it with Job simply choosing to stay faithful to you, to feel your presence, and that's enough? I mean, what's their motivation to believe in you then, if it's not the reward of riches and wealth and fame and fortune? And that's always been the difference between you and me. I give people what they want. You give the people what they need. And somehow you never give up on them. You never stop believing that they're going to learn to want you, to love you, to live with nothing but your unconditional love. Like that's going to be enough. How about this? Since you're so big on freedom and choice, how about we envision both endings? Yours with Job and God gazing off into eternity like two lovebirds, or something that they'll later call the Hollywood ending. Yeah, Hollywood. Yeah, it's this place on the West Coast I'm investing in, like Vegas and Fresno. Yeah, so we give them a vision of both endings, yours and mine, and we let them choose, to put it in that compilation of sorts you've been working on, that whole committee of canonizers of the Bible. But can we at least stick in a quick scene here where those so-called friends of Job have to do something to make up for their cluelessness? Just a little payback. You'll think about it? Huh. Of course, you're always thinking about it. You're always considering, creating, writing endless stories and letters and envisioning an infinite number of timelines, of endings, of new beginnings. I mean, we're never going to get through this if you just keep writing and writing and writing. Yes, I know that you can do all things and that no purpose of yours can be thwarted. Not even by me. Man, it's dry as the desert in your office here. I kind of like it. Hey, but that big sequel that you're working on? The one starring you, but not exactly you, but You completely, but as played by one of them. Yeah, another one about a guy who suffers and suffers and suffers, and somehow in the end, it's all about love. Well, yeah? Well, yeah, of course I want a part in it, right? Just don't turn me into some cheesy con doing parlor tricks trying to tempt the hero on his sojourn in the wilderness, okay? Okay. All right, God, well, I got to go now. I got a meeting with infrastructure about this other thing I'm working on. It's called a roundabout. Yeah. We've got them all over in that little place of blazing lava country down south you let me have. So it's going to make that other project of mine, modern transportation, all the more hellish. So thanks, boss. Thanks for everything. Satan out.